Hello and welcome to Lemming TV. In today's episode, we'll be finishing off Season 4 of my Jazz Marble League Career Mode. I hope you enjoy. So, today we'll be doing the Marble Cross and seeing who will win the championship. So, there are 5 teams still in the championship race. So, Balls of Chaos currently in the lead with 188, Shining Swarm with 184, Limers with 183, Savage Speeds with 181, and we've got a very outside chance with 163. So if we win and Balls of Chaos come last, and the Shining Swarm, Limers and Savage Speeds don't score enough points to get over 188, we could still win the championship. So before we jump into the Marble Cross, we will check our messages. So we've got 4 messages. Which team famously celebrated their gold medal win in spinning fidget? I have not heard of this. It's probably before I started watching, but I will guess Limers, and it was the Shining Swarm. We respectfully remind all teams that they must not compete the last event in financial arrays. In accordance with the JMA, any teams with negative balance at the end of the season will have a 5-point penalty plus a further 1 point for every £10 in their arrear. So luckily for us, we've still got £275, but we will spend some this event. Okay, so let's see. Certain team members are getting very tired with all the events and trainings. They need some rest. So either leave it. We could send them some therapy or organise a fan meet and greet, which we'll do as it is free. And Carl isn't as quick as he should be, but we don't really mind because we only need 1 marble for this event, and that marble says high speed, endurance, and mainly just speed and endurance. So which marble in our team has the best speed and endurance? So far it's Tom, who has 100 endurance and 83 speed. Quite a lot of our marbles do have 100 endurance, but lots of them, like Carl, are very low on their speed. So we will do some training mainly for Tom to just get his speed up, his strength up, motivation up, just to do everything for him mainly. So we'll jump into a short training session. So, of course, we will put Tom out as we will be running him. So the ones we need to get him higher on is tiredness, health, and we want to get 100 speed and motivation. So we will get rolling and let's see how high we can get Tom's stats. So we are so far on course for, we just missed 1 right at the end. That still adds 18%, pretty good. That gets him up to 100. Next, endurance. Tom already has 100 endurance, so this one doesn't really matter. And we will put Lord Palmerston out as he has lowest endurance, for only 68%. As we get rolling, we get some fairly early on, but this doesn't really matter as we won't actually be using Lord Palmerston for the rest of the season, but still it's nice to have him with some high stats. Now back to Tom. We've got 100 in speed and endurance. Let's see what we can do now for strength. He's currently at 64%, but it does look like a fairly doable course to get all of them as they are in some sort of a straight line. As we do get 10 out of the 10, that adds 30%. He's now up to 94% strength. And we will put Tom out again for the motivation. He currently has 80%, which is alright. So let's see what we can do. We get rolling and immediately miss the first one, as I turned to get the second one way too early, but we do get 14% extra. He's now to 94% motivation. Now last 2 goes before the event, he's got health and tiredness, both of which we need to improve. He's only got 64% health so far, which isn't great, seeing as our championship lies on Tom. He does get 30% increase, that gets him up to 94% health. And finally, tiredness, he has a very high 69%, so we will send him out quickly, and let's see how many we can get. As we get 9 there, that minuses 18%. That means that he will go down to only 51% tiredness. So now, as we see his pretty high stats, we have another announcement. That is that Carl will be replaced by a new Marvel next season. So watch the next season first episode if you want to find out who will replace him. So now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the Marvel Cross. So just before we start, I'll give you some records which could be beaten today. So far in my career mode, the highest score ever in a championship was 198 by the Rangers. Balls of Chaos could beat that, and lowest score was 91 by Team Momo, and Mellow Yellow could beat that. So we will now jump into the Marble Cross. So if you don't know what the Marble Cross is, it's just like a normal Formula 1 racetrack with some dirt parts in it. So quite like you just have to try and avoid hitting the walls. So we will watch the demonstration run by the Crazy Cat's Eyes pupils. So as we see here, it's important not to hit those outside walls, as you can see how much the blue marble gained there and how much they lost by them hitting the walls. Now, as if you watch the showdown, you will know that Crazy Cat's Eyes will be returning next season alongside the Midnight Wisp and Hornets. And also Crazy Cat's Eyes have the record on the Marble Cross with 5-minute 44.988. But now we can see the grid. It is a reverse championship order. So the team leading the championship is currently at the back. So just to remind you, the top 5 teams can still win it. That's the Balls of Chaos, Shining Storm, Limers, Savage Speeders, and us. But it's a long shot for us. We will put Tom out, of course, as we did a whole training session for him. As we get on the way, let's see what we can do now. As the 5 red lights go out and we're rolling, we get a fairly decent start, get past a couple marbles there, as we do hit the wall quite heavily, and that sends us right back to the back. But we avoid the wall there and make a few overtakes. These first laps are very important, as you can get much more overtakes than normally. As we see at the back of the field, Balls of Chaos currently at the back, along Shining Storm and Limers also towards the back, with the Savage Speeders quite high up. I'm not sure about the mass, but I think Savage Speeders do have a very good chance of winning it if they can keep this up. But they have fallen back, and now things have gone back into the Balls of Chaos's hands. But what we need to do is try and start making some overtakes. We get absolutely launched through there and make lots of them, but we need to get first and hope the Balls of Chaos come last in order to win the championship. And all the other marbles can't outscore the Balls of Chaos. But we keep on going. Hit the wall again, but we are now fairly close. Balls of Chaos currently not in last position. We need the Mellow Yellow to overtake the Balls of Chaos if we want to win the championship. But we do find our way into second place. And now we take the lead. And this could be very interesting, as we need the Savage Speeders and Mellow Yellow to overtake the Balls of Chaos. And we need to hold on to the lead, but we lose it. And what will really be unfortunate is Balls of Chaos come last, but we come second, as we are now fighting the Hazers and lose the second position to the Hazers. Balls of Chaos still not last, but we are catching Hazers and the Yarbles as we overtake the Hazers after they hit the wall. Balls of Chaos currently 15th position after they get overtaken by Savage Speeders. We are still in hot pursuit of the Yarbles. Can we make any moves here? We hit the wall very hard, so do the Yarbles, so we're still fairly equal. But Balls of Chaos have overtaken the Limers, so we really need people down the grid to do stuff, as we do get overtaken by the Hazers, and we need to do our job of keeping ahead of the Hazers and the Yarbles, which we aren't doing exactly brilliantly right now, but we still have half the race to go. We do hit the wall again, and that puts the Cobalts right in contention for the win. We slide past the Hazers now into the 12th lap. We have got the Yarbles in our sights, but the Balls of Chaos are not last. They are still ahead of the Limers and the Mellow Yellow. As we hit the wall again, Cobalt's now very close, but we are losing touch with the Yarbles, and we have to have a very good next few laps if we want to keep in contention for the race when we get overtaken by the Cobalts. But then they have a slight problem, and now we're being caught by the rest of the field, overtaken by the Snowballs, re-overtaken the Snowballs, and now racing our way down the straight. The Balls of Chaos are ahead of the Savage Speeders. We are ahead of the Cobalts, but the Yarbles are miles ahead of us, and the Cobalts are catching us, so we need some very good 7 laps if we want to get the championship, but it will be very close. As we hit the wall very heavy, and we somehow aren't overtaken, but the Yarbles absolutely stretching in lead, and we get overtaken by the Cobalts after a heavy hit on the wall. As for Balls of Chaos, they are getting further and further up the field, and this is not looking brilliantly for us. We need to get past the Cobalts and the Yarbles, and we need the Balls of Chaos to be overtaken, but with only 5 laps left, things are looking graver by the minute. As we hit a wall again and we get overtaken by the Oceanics, we're no longer in podium positions, but we are catching the Oceanics as Snowballs hot on our tail. Let's see what we can do here. Both us and the Oceanics hit the wall. Balls of Chaos starting to fall back down the field as the Cobalts in the lead of the race, as we go and are fighting for 3rd position, but the Snowballs are right behind us and they overtake us. As we overtake the Oceanics, we stay put in 4th. It's just a new marble who we are battling for the 3rd position. As you can see, the Cobalts and the Yarbles really battling it out. We're into the last few laps. We need some absolutely extraordinary laps here if we want to take the championship, as the Balls of Chaos are still not in last position. There's 4 marbles between them and last, but we also have 3 marbles between us and first. As we get past one of them, we have this match from the Snowballs, but we've got 1 lap to overtake 2 marbles and for 3 teams to overtake the Balls of Chaos, and I do not think it will happen, as we see the marbles crossing the finish line. Cobalts will take the win. We come in 3rd, and that means that even though our best attempts, we will not win the championship, as Balls of Chaos don't come last, but Mellow Yellow with a last position. That's a all-time lowest points, and the Cobalts getting a new Marble Cross record. So as we see the final results, Cobalts win out of the Yarbles, us, Orangers, Snowballs, Roho Rollers, Hazers. Hazers actually not going to be in next season alongside the Thunderbolts, and the Mellow Yellow, as they will make way for the Hornets, Midnight Wisps, and Crazy Cat's Eye, who will enter for Season 5. As we go down the rest of the grid, Oceanics, then Shining Swarm, a championship contender. Then the Green Ducks, Team Primary, Savage Speeders, Balls of Chaos, Limers, Thunderbolts, and Mellow Yellow. So Balls of Chaos scoring 3 points. That means that these Savage Speeders, who were 7 points behind, will not win the championship. We won't win the championship. But the teams closest to him, Shining Swarm, they have gained 4 points on the Balls of Chaos. That means that they are tied in first position. Limers, the other team in the championship fight, can't beat the Balls of Chaos as they are behind them, as we see the championship standings after the podium and who will win. And it is currently a tie on the top of the championship, with both Balls of Chaos and Shining Swarm with 191 points, both of them with 4 medals, so we can't split the teams by medals, but it does count from gold, silver to bronze, and because the Balls of Chaos have 3 gold medals and the Shining Swarm only have 1, that therefore means that the Balls of Chaos are officially Season 4 World Champions. So as we read out the standings in Season 4 for the last time, Balls of Chaos and Shining Swarm tied on 191 points. Limers and Savage Speeders tied on 185 points. Limers coming in third because of their 6 podiums. Then we're in 5th with 178. Yarbles in their first season come in 6th with 173. And the Kobolds 172. As for the rest of the grid, the Rangers and Green Ducks swapping positions. Rangers on 142, Green Ducks on 138, then the Rojo Rollers, Snowballs, Team Primary, Oceanics climbing up to 13th, then the Thunderbolts, Hazers, and Mellow Yellow with an all-time low score. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this season, and I will see you in the next season. Bye!